Welcome to the Resiliency Room.
And I recently, with one of my young adult children, they were upset about something, and it was a misunderstanding. They misunderstood. Actually, we both misunderstood because I assumed they had information that they didn't have, and that led to them not being a part of something. I didn't know I was supposed to ask or give this information because I thought they already had it. So they were, texting, and I was like, okay, I'm not going back and forth with you over text message. Clearly you're upset, and clearly I like didn't even know what was going on. So I'm like taken back, and now I'm a little bit defensive because I feel like you're coming at me a certain way. And like I've said before, like we can have conversations where I'm wrong, but don't come at me disrespectfully. So instead of saying all that, I was just like, okay, I'm not going back and forth with you. We can have the conversation at a later date. And I and that was the end of what I said because I've also learned my lesson on that. Whether it's parenting, whether it's a relationship, whatever, whether it's business, there's just certain conversations that we should not have on in a text conversation. Sometimes email can be better, but even email sometimes, if you're typing with your emotions, can still have the same result. So sometimes it's just better if we take a moment, process things, because our fingers are going to say whatever's on our mind, right? But if we're
True.
talking to someone, we're going to be more mindful about what we're saying. So some conversations just should not be had over text because you can say the
Yeah,
same thing in person and it's not going to mean the same thing as if someone is upset and reading it, they're going to read it in the tone that they're feeling, right?
and yeah, 100% agree. Like any conversation that's going to be emotionally charged, I think should be where you can hear the person's voice over the phone
Yeah.
or in person. And plus, the thing with text, when you're sending those things, you don't see the person's reaction, and a lot of times the person's reaction to what you're saying will soften what you say next, right? Like if you say that
Right.
I hated the way that you did this, and you see the person's legitimately um feeling bad for the way they treated you, the
Hmm.
next thing that you say may not be as fiery. But if
Yeah.
it's a text messages, you may just be firing off. You did this, you did that, I hate you, blah, 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 right? Because you're not getting to respond immediately, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
100%.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, it is a mom thing to say, but it's a good thing to say that. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah. And when, sometimes you can say things when emotions are balanced that you
Hmm.
can't say otherwise because they will be taken a different way. They're going to be taken in the way, just like I said, the emotion that the receiver is feeling, they're going to be taken that way in the moment. And so waiting till emotions are neutral, say the same thing, it's going to be taken the way that you intended more and not however the receiver is feeling.
Yeah, taking a moment to calm down a bit when you're not as emotionally charged. And I'm a big proponent of don't go to bed angry,
Yeah.
right?
It
That's
took me
something
a
that I
while to
do
get that one.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's one I really like because I don't like me personally, I just don't like things sitting and festering,
Yeah.
right? Like yell at me if you have to yell at me, and then let's resolve it, right? Like one of my biggest pet peeve has always been people who avoid conflict,
Really?
right? Yeah, because for me growing up, it was done in a way to avoid it because maybe the person felt that your emotions wasn't important enough to acknowledge, right? So that's
Mm.
where my
I
trauma
understand
would
that.
come
Yeah.
from. Um, but what you want is you want the time to soothe yourself before you have that conversation, but you also want to make sure that you do have that conversation, even if it takes a day or two. But then you have some people who are so avoidant, they'll like run away from it. And sometimes they either run into their own arms separate from you, or they run into the arms of someone else, or they just say, okay, bye. And they
Yeah.
just end it over something that really shouldn't be ending the relationship. And then once they start to settle into regret, they want to come back a couple of days, a week later, and you're there left with all your emotions, struggling with it. So it's unfair.
Yeah. I think my parents were, and I don't remember ever living in a house with both my parents. I only ever remember living with my mom. And my parents split, I think, when I was like 2. So, I have very limited memory period from childhood, but the memory I do have stems from living with my mother. So I don't I honestly okay. I honestly don't remember. I don't have any memory of any interactions between my parents as a kid.
Mhm.
None. And so, but my mom told me, and I can see this, I could see just from interactions with both of them. My mom told me that she was the type when they got into a disagreement, she would want to talk about it right then and resolve it. And my father would not. He would want to maybe, wait till the next day, but he wanted to kind of like, get things together in his mind. And I feel like I'm more like that, but sometimes I'm the opposite because if I let my emotions run me, then I want to talk about things while I'm feeling them. But the more I work on myself, the more I try to kind of be more like my father and say, hey, let me process these things. My mom took it as you don't care. And to
Yeah, a
her,
lot
it
of
was
people
like,
would.
well, yeah, like you don't want to talk about this because you don't care. But the more I got to know him, it made more sense that he also was a very reactive person, like myself, if I don't manage it. And so I understand that more. I understand being reactive and wanting to wait because it's more about if I respond now, I'm just reacting. And if I take the time, I'm going to have a more productive conversation. But my mom is a reactive person. Both my parents are reactive people. So, naturally, but she was reactive. She wanted to be reactive, in the sense of like, no, right now. And he was like, if I do that, then I'm not doing it properly. And
Mhm.
he had faults, and I saw parts of him that when he didn't manage that reactiveness, like shocked me because I was used to seeing more of that, more of the like, okay, I'm just gonna fall back and just, process. And then when I saw the side of him that wasn't doing that, I was like, holy shit. Well, now I know why I've always been a reactive person because, seeing the both of them and seeing him when he wasn't paying attention to it, it was never directed at me. With me, he was always like, he was more laid back. He was usually drunk, but he was more laid back. And like with my sister, I saw like that reactiveness of him of being drunk but not paying attention and just like, and I was like, whoa. But it also kind of makes you take a step back and be like, oh, like, is is that how people see me when I'm reactive and I don't like think things through and try to process? I don't like that, you know?
I think that's a common issue for people who are reactive and who are maybe either overly emotional or very in tune with their emotions where they have to express it so they can't just, to your point,
Yeah.
um, think about it and process it, is they don't realize how they're coming across. And in a lot of ways, when you're on the outside looking in, they're coming across as being crazy, right?
Yeah.
And immature in a lot of ways because children behave that way, right? But adults are the ones that should be able, we hope, should be able to process, understand, and maybe come within a couple of hours or the day after.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
concern for those who are wanting to, let's say they're anxious attachment styles, the issue that they would find then is if the person is taking another day, is it truly the next day or is it like a week or a
Mm,
month, right? Like I've been in
yeah.
relationships where the person would take weeks and it comes across as, do you think I'm going to forget?
Yeah.
Right? So that's tough too. But conversation communication is always going to be the key in that situation.
Yeah, but I understand that though because my husband and we've both like worked on ourselves emotionally over the years. And we both like I've seen in him in the beginning I was more like my mom and he was more like my father
Hmm.
where I just wanted to have it out right there. And he would be like, let me think about this. Or not even like arguments, but just like I would ask a question that needed a decision and he'd be like, let me get back to you. Now, in the beginning, because I was more used to like reactive people. So in the beginning, I would be like, okay, but are you actually like, are you thinking about this? Are you going to get back to me? Like, you know, and it would be, he's like, no, I want to think about it. And it was really intentional. And I wasn't really used to
Good.
that. So for me, it was kind of like, why? Like, what are you doing? Just answer my question. Me being aggressive again. Like, just answer my question. No, this requires, and I'm like, okay. So the more we worked on ourselves and got to know each other, now like, oh, okay, like I get that. For certain things, like if I'm asking you, hey, can you turn the light off? You don't need to get back to me tomorrow. Like it wouldn't be stuff like that, but just like
Of course
silly.
not. Yeah.
But certain things, I'm like, okay, I get it, because now I do it. Let me think about this before I make this decision or I answer this question. And maybe that isn't it. Maybe it's an age thing too. I think it's just maybe age and emotional maturity. A little bit of both. But
Yeah. When you have healthy behaviors being reflected towards you, a lot of
hmm
cases we grow and we start to reflect them back. That's what it
yes.
is,
Yeah. Yeah, very much
right?
so. Yeah, because I mean, I can't say that, having my first kid at 14, I can't say that I was in a whole lot of emotionally mature relationships, you know.
Mhm.
So when you finally and this is something that I've noticed with one of my kids too, one of my adult kids, that I can tell they're in a solid relationship because how of interactions that I've heard. Um,
Mm.
from her responses to things are a little bit different. Her relationship is not as reactive, and the person she's dating, I've heard them on the phone and I've heard them say certain things, and I'm like, wow, that's
Okay, I
mature.
see you. There
Okay,
you go.
you
Go on with your
know.
bad self. You go, boy. You
Right.
go, girl.
I'm
I
like,
hear you.
I really liked that response. Okay, because he was trying to kind of get her not to, he was trying to get her to tone it down a little bit, but he was very, no, 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 let's not get off the phone. Let's talk about this. And his tone was so calming. And I was like, I think I like this one. Okay.
There you go.
Uh,
Honestly, it's such a beautiful thing because we see the bad too often.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But seeing the good, and I wish, and I try to highlight that more, um, because it is out there,
Yeah.
right? Then I think part of the reason why we don't see it as often is because they just resolve it themselves,
Hmm.
right? The crazy people are the ones who run to social media. Oh my God, look what he did to me. Look what she did to me. You know
Oh, I
what?
hate
I'm gonna
that.
go sleep with 10 people. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I have unfollowed so many groups because I see questions like that. Or like mom groups. Should I take my kids to the doc? Take your fucking kids to the doctor. If you have to ask that question, I don't know if you can tell, but this one really pisses me off. If you have to get on social media and ask if you need to take your kids to the doctor, take your kids to the doctor. I, unfollow. I can't because y'all are pissing me off right now. Like some of the questions that people ask social media is just, yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
it.
I agree with you. Like as you know, my birthday was April 4th, so not too long ago.
Hmm.
In
Yeah, because
March,
it's right. It's the day before one of my daughters.
there you go. So in March, I went through my social media and I removed people for some of the reasons that you mentioned. And then that's one of the reasons why I wrote what I wrote is because I want to thank all the people who are doing really, really good. And I want to
Yeah.
make sure that they see it specifically because the people who had the negativity, who had all this stuff, that's was like, no, because I usually don't write that long.
Right.
But I wrote that over a couple of days because I wanted to make sure that one, I didn't forget anyone, and two, that I made sure to include everyone that in my heart I wanted to include. But I didn't want negative people to see it.
Yeah.
So if they
Yeah.
see it because it pops up on their feed, that's a different conversation. But on their friends list, I was like, no, I removed it. And the reason why I did that is last year I asked myself, Terrain, these people, what purpose are they serving in your life today? And what purpose in their life are they going to serve next year and going forward? And the
Yeah.
answer was none.
Yep.
So I removed them. And that's why I had a post where I said, sometimes you will miss out on your blessings because you have toxic
Mm.
people standing in front of it. And
Yes.
that's what it was, right? So I 100% agree with you that you have to remove people regardless of how long you've known them or whatever the case is, because at that point you're just comfortable. You're just a pig in
Right.
mud. You're just comfortable in it.
Yep. Yeah, it's and part of the reason that I redid my Facebook, I haven't done the same with like TikTok and Instagram because I don't really look at other people's stuff.
Hmm.
I'm every once in a while I might go through and like share certain things, but I redid my Facebook in part because I was like, I don't hardly interact with any of these people. And two, I've never in my life before have I let politics determine who I have relationships with.
Mm.
Um, and this wasn't even a political decision. This was, what kind of person are you by the things that you're supporting currently? Not your political party, not your political stance on certain things. I don't care about that because we have reasons for those things, right? But if you are like a ride or die for a certain person, I just I don't want to be there with you. So I took some of those people off and I said, you know what? Let me do even better. If I haven't talked to this person or added them within the last 30 days, I'm just gonna unfriend them. So I
Spring
unfriended,
cleaning. That's what I call
yeah,
it.
I unfriended like 300 people. And so now I'm,
300?
yep. And now I'm like, I don't even have 300 friends now, but I still have way more than I feel like I should. Like on my personal page, it's still like two something, three something, 100 people. And then I'm like, why are there still so many people?
Hmm.
But also and then I realized that like if somebody has their account deactivated, then you can't unfriend them because their profile isn't active.
Mm, I didn't know
So
that.
there's certain people who I didn't see on my friends list because their profile was deactivated. But I'm like, well, those people aren't causing trouble for me anyway because their profile's not active. But it wasn't just like if you are a ride or die Big Daddy Orange, it was also if I'm not communicating with you, then like it's my personal account. What are you benefiting me? We don't have to be friends. And that's something I've been big on too. Like, we don't have to be friends on social media. I know people in real life with that I'm not friends with on social media, and that's fine. Like, it's not a
There you
requirement, you
go.
know?
I'm all about and I think I shared this with you in one of our many conversations. I'm all about strengthening the connections that are going to help me to become the person I want to be
Yeah.
and join that. Everything else, I have I have enough friends
Hmm.
off of social media that I'm content with.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, you and many others, that I speak to every once in a while, either through text message and we may not have met yet, that I'm content with.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need these extras because these extras, again, what's the benefit? And I couldn't come up with the benefit outside of maybe inflating numbers, which wasn't a benefit to me or
Right.
anything like that. So I just removed it. I'm comfortable with what I have now because it's people that I support, it's people that support me, and it's
Right.
people genuinely that want to see me succeed.
Yeah.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people that I had on Facebook were just like people that I had met, right? And like whether I worked with them before, I went to high school with them. I haven't seen them in 20 years, but I knew them, so like they were there. And I think maybe like two people out of all those people, including family, because I unfriended a bunch of family too. Two people reached out to me and was like, why did you unfriend me? And I was like, oh, my bad. It cool. Now you let me know you want to be here, you can stay. But like out of all
Yeah.
those people, like, and I was like, that's so stupid because I've seen you once in life. Like I need to know what you're doing on a regular basis. I don't.
No, 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 no,
But then
no,
it's
no.
kind of it's a, it's kind of like a little difficult too, because it's like if you're trying to build your profile professionally. And that was my thought process. Like, I want all these people to see what I'm doing so that they can support what I'm doing, right? Or reach out to me for coaching, for writing, or relationships, whatever the case may be, like, or maybe buy my books, maybe, buy my book and then read it and actually benefit from it. That was my thought process. But I'm like, I'm not selling over 300 things on a regular basis. So clearly, like these people aren't interacting with this stuff anyway. So it's not hurting me as a professional to let all the unnecessary people go. And I think that's somewhere, sometimes where we kind of trip ourselves up, whether it be with what could be in whatever capacity we keep people around because they could be beneficial to us at some point. And that's not beneficial to ourselves.
I agree. I absolutely agree. I think I'm a big fan of spring cleaning, not only inside of my house, but inside of many different areas. Um, because you realize that one, not everyone is your friend, which we all know, and
Right.
two, you don't need to keep everyone around. You'll see them when you see them, and if you don't
Right.
ever see them, you're still good.
Right. Because I'm not missing out on
Right?
anything I haven't been getting
No.
anyway.
No, life is still gonna go on. You're still gonna do an amazing job with everything that you still have going on, and you gotta reach out new people because here's the thing. There's some people that want to see you. There's some people
Uh-huh.
that want to see you succeed, and there's some people that want to see your success, and there's some people that don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So depending on where
Yeah.
you want to go to maybe one of the four, right? But if your success is important to you, this is your baby from the magazine to your podcast to your coaching to your family,
Yeah.
then focus on that. Right? A
Yeah.
community of 10 can be just as powerful as a community of 1,000.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because the people who were most excited about this new magazine were people that I haven't known for 5 years, 3 years even. Well, I guess how long have we technically known each other? It's been a while, but like we've interacted
Nothing like
on,
the last year, that's for
yeah,
sure.
like
Yeah.
on like a regular basis, like a real like friendship has been like the last year. But
Mhm.
the people that were most ecstatic about this magazine were people that I've known under 5 years, you know? And it's
Mhm.
like it's kind of crazy. But
Yeah, people ask me about it. They're like, "Can we contact her?" I was like, "Yeah." And I'm like,
yeah.
"I don't own her." And I think of people who reached out to Indra. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I think of people because I saw people posting it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're not, now
Yeah.
they're just shameless with it. Now people are actually
Right?
posting comments right to her. I was like, oh, okay. I thought they were gonna at least DM her or something.
No, I saw somebody actually shared the link to the magazine who I think she had recently been on your podcast, and
Hmm.
she shared the link because of her interaction with you was so wonderful that she wanted other people to read your interview. And I was like, that's what we need. Not
Yeah.
like I met this person a year ago or 10 years ago. I know I'm going to keep them around. No, like we need people who are going to uplift us and share our stuff, not only just to like to put us out there, but when the things that we're doing are meaningful and potentially helpful to other people, we want that. We want a network of people who we can connect together and build each other up.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and that's my goal for 2026. That's why, to your point, right? That's why I got rid of some of the people who, like I said, if I see them, I see them. That's fine,
Yeah.
but I'm strengthening that because I was very, and I shared this with you as well. I'll share it again. Is that I was very proud that you asked and that you featured it, and two, I was glad that people who saw it, who read it, were interested in being a part of future
Hmm.
for the two of you, right?
Yeah.
Because that to me is more important
Hmm.
because this is the baby of the both of yours. So if other people who know me but may not know the both of you, if they're interested, and I saw some of the comments that seem like they're interested, then by all means, go ahead
Yeah.
because that's ultimately what you want, right? When you win, when she wins, I feel like I win because I
Yeah.
like both of you. So
Me a
there's
little
enough for
bit more. I'm
everybody.
just kidding.
Well, I know you longer, so
Yeah.
that goes without saying, right? Don't
No,
watch this, Indra. She bribed me to say that.
no, I love her. And that's another thing. Like I've known her maybe a couple years now, I feel like. But same thing, like we just really started going hard like this past year.
Mhm.
And um no, maybe I think I've only known her maybe a year, a little over a year, because I remember I was like a little anniversary, you know. We're like, we've been friends for a year. But only like the past maybe like 6 months or so, really, is when we started going hard. And we started out coaching each other. And we coached each other for a
Hmm.
little bit, but then we just started having conversations about like our passions and things, these ideas that we had. And we started out with podcasting being our like primary thing. I've been podcasting now I'm going into my fifth season soon, but podcasting isn't, I've actually like this year is the first year I've started making money off of it. But I don't feel like that's,
Congratulations.
thank you. I don't feel like that's like where I have to stop, Like I wouldn't have even thought about being anything to do with a magazine like of my own without this person to meet and to grow with and to be like, hey, you know what? This is my idea. This is what I think we could be successful at. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like writing is not the thing that I thought would like make it. You know what I mean?
Really? Why
Like,
not?
no, I don't know. I just because, when I went to college, my plan was to go get my PhD and, have my own therapy practice. And so that's what I thought I'd be doing.
Mhm.
And in the midst of all that is when I started writing. And then I like started writing books through college, and then I went on to write for a magazine, but you have to pay a monthly subscription to write for that magazine. So I wasn't getting paid to write for them, but it was still experience, and I value the experience. Um, and I like write books here and there, but like I don't know, it was more of a hobby. And then I got into podcasting, and I was writing through all that,
Mhm.
but I thought like verbally speaking would be like the thing because I talk a lot, I always have. But I didn't know that, like speaking through my words was going to be like the thing, you know. And I can definitely see it being the thing. Um
There you go.
yeah, it's so, the life changes. You meet people and sometimes people take you in trajectories that you didn't even know you had the potential to be in.
You're right. You're right. It's you have an idea for something, and then that idea evolves based on experience and timing, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is where I'm going. It may not be your initial stop on the journey, but it's one that is so successful that you want to explore it a little bit more. And I think that's what
Hmm.
writing is for you.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. But I think and then there's also too, there's like the confidence factor, because like I haven't sold a ton of books, but the books I've primarily been trying to sell are workbooks. So it's a very niche thing. And
Hmm.
unless I'm out here like hardcore promoting that thing at the right places, I'm not going to sell a ton of those just like randomly on Facebook. Hey, buy this workbook, like so there's a little bit of that kind of confidence factor of where like I don't know that I'm really going to sell this. But then the other things I've been working on, specifically the Mom and Me series, I have people that are like, "Oh my God, like this could really be a big thing."
Yes, I
Um,
agree. I
but
absolutely
then
agree.
there's that like I don't know who to give it to, So it's like I'm still figuring that part out. I don't know who to get it in front of to make it that big thing. So it's self-publishing is difficult.
It is. And I know that I shared a couple of emails with you of people who are writers that reached out to me. And I'm guessing the reason why they reached out is one, because of the chapter that I wrote for, um, that I shared my apologies for the book regarding
Mhm.
my grandmother and maybe the magazine as well. So all I do is
Yeah.
I just forward those to you and see if you're interested in those opportunities because as you mentioned, you want a bigger stream. And I think it seems like a good idea, but I haven't really had a one-on-one with them. But
Right.
that may
Yeah.
help you as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I haven't looked like I got sick and I swear we were sick. Like I'm still getting over this, whatever it is, but we've been
Hmm.
sick for like 2 weeks and I feel like it's
Oh
taken
wow.
so much of my life. Yeah.
It'll do
Like
that.
I know.
It'll do that.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay, I'm finally like I worked yesterday. I worked on a lot of podcasting stuff. I'm like I posted like 6 podcast episodes that because I've been sick for weeks that like I
Hmm.
have done nothing with. And usually I'm ahead a couple months. But I got through April. So
I saw some of them. I like them. I was like, yeah, because I watch a lot of them on YouTube.
yeah.
I should do a lot more. I should watch a lot more on like Spotify and stuff like that. It's just when I see them on YouTube, well, okay, let me watch this, and 'cause a lot of times I have like my headphones,
Uh-huh.
so I'm listening, and if I watch it from like my phone, I put my phone in my pocket, right? I'm just going
Yeah.
about my day, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We
Well,
talked about a lot today, madam.
I know. Well, thank you to everyone for joining us today and the today's all of these episodes. Um and yeah, we'll see you next time.